Well, from time to time, we've got to talk about the wokeness in the room, and we got to talk about what's going on with South Park in this case. And their show, or whatever it was, their 48-minute of the Panderverse, I gotta tell you, it bored the crap out of me. All of this is so tiring at this point. One shoots here, one shoots there, everyone gets covered, and it's absolutely disgusting. It's the way things keep going from day one with the swapping of characters from what was in written text. If you look like back at Tolkien with Lord of the Rings and what's gone on in Magic the Gathering with their Lord of the Rings set, where it looked like reused art on a race swapped Aragorn. Now you look at where Indiana Jones gets completely booted by Harrison Ford for a different person to come up on the stage, and you see this time and time again in Disney movies, in everything. And the biggest line from the Panderverse was, put a chick in it and make it lame. And that's exactly what's going on. You know, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, they just calling out the details that have been going on in a lot of the commentary and a lot of the movies that we see that we used to love, and it's just evolved to this absolute crazy ordeal named the Panderverse. Ultimately, it just became very tiresome, and that's why we're talking about this today. I'm bringing up a cracked article on this because this is where this has gone. But before we dive into it, don't forget to like and subscribe. I sometimes cover things like this. It's absolutely ridiculous where pandering has gone for movies, for video games, for everything out there. South Park calls it out, but then they call it the other side, and they call it both sides of that coin, which is something that I've sat there time and again, some days, talking about it. South Park joining the Panderverse is peak. Both sides are equally dumb. Well, yeah, it kind of is. I'm not going to disagree with that. You know, the whole premise of the movie was to take a shot across the bow at Disney and Kathleen Kennedy with what she did to a lot of Disney titles and franchises at this point. But if you didn't realize, Kathleen Kennedy has been with Disney for a very long time. Back to the Future days. Very long time, especially with Lucas. Like, I mean, she's been there. She was there at the beginning, so I can't really sit there and say it's all her fault, and I more look at the executives and more of the direction of investors that are investing in not South Park, but Disney and all these movies, all the things that we once loved and enjoyed and didn't have a care in the world on which direction they went. And that's the biggest deal. As long as you keep it fun, who cares? That's exactly what it is. You put it up on the big screen, it's called acting, and that's what a lot of people don't remember. In an epic 49-minute takedown on billionaires, butthurt white-collar workers, and the tired multiverse trope dominating big-budget movies, and, of course, the casting directions of Disney reboots. South Park joining the Panderverse shows Trey Parker and Matt Stone at their best as they masterfully imagine a universe where racism and sexism are equally bad as the Black Mermaid. That's part of what it was. The Little Mermaid is contentious in itself because it was a story, Dutch, I believe, in origin, or Swedish in origin, where it would have been traditionally a white actress or actor or portrayal of the person that would have played it. Doing the race swap for Disney's The Little Mermaid, it kind of more became of how did this come about, because I believe her father was white in the movie. I don't know. I'm not one out there. I'm not going to rush out there to watch The Little Mermaid because it just seemed that it was, in this case, pandering to one side or the other, and that is what's going on. And they make the points of changing up all the characters, especially Cartman, into a black female at this point, and you sit there and you go, what is going on here? They completely flip it over on its side and just say, Well, this is what it is, and now you have to work with it because everyone tries to do whatever they can to say that nothing can be changed about it. You just have to deal with it. You know, there's some days through my work, I sit there and I say I don't pick the people I choose to work with, but I do have to work with them and I have to get along with them. But that in itself the tone that you need to go into life? When we're watching movies and we're watching these pastimes, that's not what we want to do. People don't want to sit there and have to deal with that because then they just avoid it. That's the difference with entertainment, is you want to be entertained and you want to see something that you want to see. Now, a lot of people sit there and go, oh, now you can see yourself in the movie because it's out there. But why? Why does it have to be changed, and why can't it be an original written story like we see with Miles Morales of Spider-Man? That's probably one of the best examples of what has been written in there, given a true background for a character. Now, is Miles Morales Spider-Man? No, but Miles Morales is Miles Morales. That's the big difference there. He is his own entity, and that's why it works a lot better. But everyone's trying to create this trophy around it, saying that he's Spider-Man and completely encapsulate everything. In this case, South Park really saying both sides are equally bad, so calling it out is equally as bad as doing the changes in the first place. I don't see that. I'm also an electrician, so I'm a tradesperson. I know how to fix things. That is the big takeaway too of the show, because a lot of those that can sit there and get their degrees online haven't done the legwork in the real world and know a little bit more of what it means to earn money in the real world. That is a difference there. When you're a tradesperson, you do things a lot differently, you see the world a lot differently, and you value that dollar that you put in the hard sweat for. In this case, when you sit there and change the races, when you change the sexism, when you introduce these things into their Panderverse, it becomes, well, what are you really doing? Did you actually work to put that there? Did you build these characters up? I remember when Cartman was a little kid with an anal probe in his from the aliens over the South Park, and it was absolutely ridiculous, but that's where it was built up from. That's where they build on the character of Cartman. And then with the Panderverse showing off, saying, okay, now we're just going to flip the script and completely rewrite the character as is this supposed to be a teenage black woman in this case? And that's why people sit there and they go, well, it's Trey Parker and Matt Stone, so this is completely satiric. And that's part of it. That's part of it. It's satire and comedy. And when you do write comedy and it comes down to what you see today in today's standards for movies and video games, it kind of goes a little bit off the deep end, and that is what has happened here. Well, ultimately, I watched the Panderverse. I almost fell asleep. I thought it was quite boring of a show. But it's more of the commentary behind it. It's more showing what is actually going out there, and you can see what the outrage is here. You've got hundreds of articles out there. You get a few articles that I can cover, and then it creates and sparks this conversation of what we're seeing in cinema, in video games, in movies, and why they're failing so much, why the Disney stock has fallen off the deep end. And on top of that, look at what's going on in Hasbro right now. They came out with their Q3 results and they almost lost $10 on the stock market because they're doing these things, because now they're intermixing their own IP with someone else's and they're paying royalties through the ass again. I have another video that's going to come up on that. Anyway, I'm your proud Canadian Phoenix Cineshadow. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you again very soon.